Hello everyone, my name is AlzaboHD, and in today's video, we are going to explore the most obscure and rarest achievements in all of Europa Universalis IV. Less than 0.3% of map-staring experts have ever obtained these elusive internet awards, and in this list we will explore how to obtain them so that you can flex on your friends and impress your family. To make this video more interesting, we will not be covering any of the achievements listed in previous videos, like those seen in the top 10 hardest achievements list. We will also cover only the achievements possible to obtain without owning DLC, to keep things fair and more accessible. It's time we set our sights on the coast of southern India and get started with number 10. Deep in the heart of Tamil Nadu lies the kingdom of Madurai, seat of power to the Tamil kings. In 1444, they are an impoverished, 9-development nation that's largely surrounded by the Vijayanagar state. Our first achievement we will cover is the Pandya Empire, a moderately difficult challenge that has the player overcome and conquer the plurality of South and Eastern India as this isolated one-province minor nation. While historically the Tamil kings were a strong kingdom in antiquity, their starting position in EU4 is precarious, requiring you to be opportunistic in your diplomatic approach. This achievement was released almost 2 years ago with the 1.28 Dharma update, and could explain why only 0.36% of players have accomplished it. Nevertheless, it is relatively difficult if you're not able to secure larger alliances to take down the superpower that surrounds you. Playing so far outside of Europe also presents its own unique challenges, like forcing development to spawn institutions and the inability to secure personal unions, though the Hindu deity mechanics provide strong bonuses in their own right. Crouching their way to number 9 is the Tiger of Mysore achievement, hidden to all but the most dedicated 0.34% of dragons, players. In a similar vein to the aforementioned Pandya Empire achievement, this challenge has you conquer large swaths of central and southern India as a small but promising minor nation. And unlike Madurai, Mysore's starting position is substantially better, as they have a larger economy, more cores to reclaim, and they can easily ally Bahmanis to the north to cripple Vijayanagar early on. You're also afforded a substantial amount of flexibility, as you can later form the nations of India or Hindustan depending on your nation's religion upon formation. I've obtained this achievement before and found the campaign quite enjoyable, as Mysore also possesses some of the strongest national ideas in the subcontinent. They start with a plus 10% morale ambition and can later access plus 5% army discipline, on top of sizable core cost reduction modifiers once all of their ideas are unlocked. Up next on our list is arguably the easiest achievement to obtain in the video, unlockable by playing a Sindh campaign and converting to a denomination of Christianity. This is actually far easier than you might expect, given the proximity of Sindh to the island province of Coptic Socotra. You can declare war on the Arabian nation of Mahra with no CB, use your ships to launch an invasion of the territory, and annex the province without much difficulty. Once you have the island under control, simply send in a missionary, generate some unrest, and have Coptic Christian rebels rise up to spread the good news. Through the magic of the Clausewitz engine, these zealots will part the Red Sea, and teleport to your mainland provinces after several months. If you let them take your capital and enforce their demands, you'll become Christian and obtain this easy yet obscure achievement, making it a good idea for your next campaign. And speaking of good ideas, you should check out Private Internet Access, the sponsor of this video. Just as you use the defensive national ideas to protect your armies, you should also use a VPN to protect your digital data. In today's world, every website is tracking you, collecting your data to later resell without your permission. I'm against this fundamental violation of personal privacy, and personally use PIA to take back control of my digital life. I've been approached to promote several VPN companies in the past, all of which logged user information. Unlike their competitors, PIA is completely private, protecting your identity by never logging your personal information. You can use their service to bypass government censorship and even unblock regional content found on Netflix and other streaming services. PIA is available for all major operating systems and has a kill switch button, keeping you safe at all times. Plus, there are multiple options for payments, which makes it worth trying. If you'd like to support the channel, Private Internet Access has a special offer for you, with a link to a 77% discount off their VPN services and 3 extra months for free. You also get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so everything is risk-free for you. Check out the link in the description box below and get Private Internet Access today. Trailing its way onto number 7 on our list of rarest achievements is Spaghetti Western, with the fastest draw on the list. To obtain this big iron on your hip, you must colonize southern North America as the Italian Republic of Bologna, and later release and play as the colonial nation. Once released, it's possible to form the nation of Mexico or Texas, which will grant you the achievement. Although this scenario is not particularly difficult, starting as Bologna will require you to expand towards the Italian coastline in order to gain the colonial range before you are able to gain a foothold in the Wild West. Both Mexico and Texas feature fantastic national ideas, with Mexico boasting more economic bonuses and Texas offering more military-minded modifiers. Only around 0.15% of players have ever obtained this achievement, likely because it was added in the most recent 1.30 update. Personally, I quite enjoy playing Texas, and if the blood of Sam Houston runs through your veins, I'd reckon you'd have a hootenanny playing the Lone Star State. If you're interested in driving and lane splitting the Byzantines and Saracens out of Asia Minor, our next achievement, On the Roads Again, is perfect for you. Unlocked by a mere 0.12% of global players, this obscure challenge has you starting a campaign as the Knights of Rhodes, and tasks you with going on to conquer Constantinople, Jerusalem, and Antioch. Despite their small starting size, the Knights are well equipped to this task, boasting a plus 5% army discipline tradition, the ability to raid the coasts of heretics for money and men, and even a fully fledged mission tree that grants them claims across all of the required territory. Despite their initial difficulty, the Knights can easily snipe the Byzantine capital for themselves once the Ottomans declare war for it and have them distracted. After further conquests in Anatolia and the Levant, you can go on to form the nation of Jerusalem, which will not prevent you from unlocking the achievement. There is strong support for a Jerusalem guide, so when it's up on the channel it will appear as a card in the top right of your screen. Resurrecting long-lost rectangles and emerging at number 5 on our list is the Mary of Lotharingia achievement, which requires you to form Lotharingia as Burgundy and name your heir Marie. Given that Burgundy has a tendency to explode in the mid-15th century, this is no small feat, and has been obtained by only 0.10% of EU4 players. Burgundy itself is quite strong, and affords your campaign with a powerful start and multiple PU subjects, allowing you to stand toe-to-toe with France in 1444 and providing you buckets of ducats with your starting economy. To form Lotharingia, you will have to complete a plurality of the Burgundian mission tree, and expand into the lowlands in western Germany, neither of which is particularly challenging for an intermediate player. Just be sure to survive the secession crisis and choose the option that grants you Marie via event to complete the achievement and wipe this one off of your bucket list. The next rare and obscure achievement we will cover is quite possibly the most ridiculous, and features the newly added Slovenian nation of Silly. To obtain the Don't Be Silly achievement, you'll have to switch tags and change countries, which is complicated given that there is no formable Slovenian or Yugoslavian nation. Instead, you must swap your primary culture by conquering enough land, stating provinces that contain your culture of choice, and accepting a cultural shift. The easiest option would be to conquer Croatia, switch cultures to Croatian, and reform the nation to unlock the achievement. But that would be silly, so if you want a real challenge, I recommend snaking your way into Manchuria and forming the Qing dynasty. It turns out only 0.10% of EU4 players have a sense of humor, and have unlocked the achievement, and if you're up for a mild challenge, Don't Be Silly is a fun campaign that can be completed relatively quickly. Sailing its way onto number 3 on our list is Inner Turmoil, a notoriously difficult achievement obtained only by less than 0.10% of EU4 players. This challenge tasks players with playing as the Iron Isles, and conquering 20 provinces in continental Europe in less than 56 years. Given that the Isles are an impoverished and undeveloped Scottish vassal state on the periphery of Britain, a player interested in obtaining this achievement will have to pay the Iron Prize to gain independence and conquer a foothold in Europe, as the provinces of the British Isles do not count for your province requirement. I recommend expanding into Scandinavia and Novgorod, as they have low-cost cores, but your distance to these regions will afford you no claims, forcing you to declare no CB best CB wars that will deeply destabilize your nation. Complicating matters further is that coring distance will pose yet another problem, as you'll rarely have the colonial distance needed to take northeastern European provinces this early in the game. To remedy this, you can vassalize an OPM like Riga in the Baltic Sea to be able to core more provinces in the region, utilizing a mechanic that allows you to core any province that borders your subject states. Overall, this is an insanely hard achievement on par with True Heir of Timur, and if you embark on this challenge, be prepared to restart until RNG favors your sails. Vassal feeding its way onto number 2 on our list is Sternde Sudens, one of the rarest achievements, with roughly 0% of players having achieved it. The first order of business for this achievement is forming Bayern Munich, a relatively easy task that's accomplished by starting as Munich and consolidating the Bavarian region. The real challenge of this achievement comes after forming Bavaria, as you'll have to vassalize the Northern Republic of Bremen and feed their team the province of Werder. You would think that this province would be close to the HRE, but it's not. It's in Somalia, and the only way to get there is to commit border war and snake your subjects' way through Europe, the Mediterranean, and Egypt, creating a Bavarian tentacle across the land. Once you have your subject control the province, you'll unlock the achievement, but given the arduous circumstances involving this challenge, few have ever attempted it, and even fewer have succeeded. Bavaria itself possesses incredibly powerful missions that will help in your campaign, and if you'd like to learn more about them, I invite you to check out the strongest national missions video at the card in the top right of your screen. At the top of our lip is a stiff order of business, and at number 1 on our list, the stiff upper lip achievement is the rarest in all of Europa Universalis, with fewer than 0.01% of all players having unlocked it as of the recording of this video. A recent addition in the 1.30 update, this challenge has the player release and play the nation of Lip, by starting as Berg in 1444 and releasing the province of Ravensburg. Once released, Lip is a playable OPM that will have to face the aggressive expansion and diplomatic isolation of expanding within the HRE to eventually reach a coastline on the Atlantic Ocean. Once a coastal province is cored, you'll have to proceed to NoCB England, Scotland, or an Irish OPM to invade Britain and eventually consolidate and core the entire region. Once the Germanic boys are back in town and in full control of the British Isles, you'll obtain the achievement, placing you in the pantheon of most distinguished EU4 players. Complicating this task, however, is the fact that Lip possesses generic German national ideas, affording them few advantages in a region dominated by armies with substantially more powerful morale, discipline, and combat ability. Looking closer, it does seem that Paradox has an awful lot of achievements involving the subjugation of Great Britain, with the Empire of Man, Danelaw, and Luck of the Irish being the most other notable examples. That concludes our list of rarest achievements in EU4. If you've made it this far, I'd like to extend a warm thank you for supporting the channel and my boss, the AI YouTube algorithm. If you want to further support the channel and want more content in the future, I humbly ask of you to enforce a union by subscribing to the channel and improving relations with the like button. A special thanks as well to Private Internet Access for sponsoring this video, and if you're interested in their VPN service, feel free to download it and the link available in the description box below. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. It's time to roll the credits.